We ready? Ready? Engine start video. So this is the morning. We're getting ready to go out. I'm going to go through each step to correctly starting the engine to make sure that nothing bad happens and it all goes smoothly. So first thing to do is to come in here and make sure we have lights on. So the switch here says Cal Moteur. Cal Moteur is the switch so that we have light. Okay, if we back up a little bit. Next thing we can do is open our two doors. So this door gives us access to see the very important raw water filter. Okay, back up a bit. Next step, access to the engine panel, or rather engine access panel to access the engine. You can have a little look inside. What we're looking for is this yellow tag right here, which shows the engine dipstick, oil dipstick. Pull that out. Probably do this a couple of times. Should be close to the top mark. Don't put too much oil in if ever you see it low. We always want it below that mark, never above that mark. Engine takes 5 liters of oil. We'll put that back. If you do need to change oil, the oil cap is here. The oil is in the back starboard locker. As I said, dose it very carefully and measure often so you don't go over the mark. Okay, stop.
2.
Take 2. All right, so we're about to start the engine. Here's the engine panel. Here's the key, and here is an old raw water impeller that got wrecked because water was not coming into the engine properly. So it got completely shredded, and if this had continued on, we might have wrecked the engine. Water coming to the engine is the most important thing.
How much can be this damage?
You can wreck the engine. It'll seize up, and that'll be it. $30,000-$40,000. Okay, so we have to pay attention to water coming in. Okay, then that's what we're going to see right now. So we put the key in. Okay, we're ready to go. No, it's on. Start. Okay, come over. Okay, so if water is not starting, this is what you have to do to stop the engine immediately. Come back to the panel and press the stop button. All right, then go and figure out what the problem might be.
Off.
Okay. When you turn the key, if you don't hear the buzzer, it's because the engine ground hasn't been turned on. Come over here. Engine ground is right here. At the end of the day, it should always be in the off position to avoid corrosion. Before starting the engine, turn it to the on position. Now when we put it on, you can hear the sound. And start. Okay, battery charge after engine start. So after the engine is started, we want to make sure that current is flowing into the batteries. So we can come here and look at our pattern. This is our service batteries. They're not being charged because they're not above 13. This is our engine battery, not being charged also, probably because the engine is not turning enough. So let's go back here. Willie, crank up the engine a bit. Now we can see it. Engine is started, engine battery is now charging. The charge rate is moving up, 27 amps. And let's look at the service battery. Still low, but this will kick in a moment when the charge relay recognizes the difference between the motor and the start battery. I'm gonna have to wait here, but just wait. And then I'll have to cut this out. Like what it's doing right now is that the charge relay is looking at the start battery and it's looking at the service batteries, and at one point it decides, okay, I'm going to let the alternator do both the start battery and the service battery when it clicks on. And sometimes it can take a minute. You see the jump now? It can take a minute or two before it says, okay, now I'm doing it. So this is a good charge rate for when all the batteries are being charged in the morning as you start the engine. With a little bit of engine RPM in neutral. Cut.